Avoidant people, they are the ones who carry the most contradiction in relationships. Inside them there's always a battle. On one side the fear of intimacy, on the other the fear of abandonment, and together these two fears control every step they take. You've probably noticed this: when you try to get close to them, they build a wall, they ask for space, they create distance, as if closeness itself is a threat. But the moment you get tired, the moment you pull back, the moment you start moving on with your life, suddenly they come back. They call, they text, they make declarations of love, they shower you with promises, and you think to yourself, finally they've changed, finally this is love. But that's the biggest illusion. Most of the time it isn't love, it isn't transformation, it's just a survival reflex. Their fear gets triggered, the fear of intimacy pushes them to withdraw, and the fear of abandonment pulls them back. This is the avoidance cycle, and the most dangerous part of this cycle is the final desperate move they make when they sense you're truly moving on. That's when they show intensity, when they make grand gestures, when they act as if everything has changed. But the truth is, fear can pull someone toward you, but fear can never make them stay. And that's why in today's video we're going to break down this entire cycle. We'll uncover why avoidants behave this way, why they come back, and most importantly, how you can reclaim your clarity and your power, because you deserve a love that is steady, that is consistent, that affirms your worth every single day. Not the kind of love that gives you everything one day and takes it all away the next. In today's video we're going to break it down step by step. First we'll uncover the core fear that drives avoidant people, the constant tug of war between intimacy and abandonment. Then we'll talk about why they suddenly reappear the moment you stop chasing. After that we'll break down love bombing, mixed signals, and the hidden power struggle that keeps you stuck. And finally I'll give you the exact mindset and tools you need to break free and stand firm in your growth. By the end of this video you won't just understand the avoidance cycle, you'll know how to spot it, how to protect your peace, and how to stop mistaking fear for love. And if you find this helpful, don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Now I want to hear from you. Tell me in the comments what topic should I cover in the next video. Your feedback will guide me so I can create the video you need the most. Core fear, intimacy versus abandonment. Inside the heart of an avoidant, there is always a battle burning. On one side is the fear of intimacy, on the other, the fear of abandonment, and these two enemies control every move they make. The fear of intimacy teaches them that closeness is dangerous. Maybe in childhood, love was sometimes given, sometimes taken away. Maybe vulnerability was punished. Their mind has already decided, if you get too close you'll break. That's why when you offer love, they step back. They ask for space, they create distance as if your touch itself is a prison. But the truth is, deep inside they tremble too, from the fear of being left alone. No matter how high the wall, every human being is hungry for connection, and this contradiction is what keeps them restless. Think of a bird that comes near its nest but suddenly flies away in fear, yet when the night grows darker and loneliness surrounds it, that same bird comes searching back for its nest. That is the story of the avoidant. Or picture a rubber band. When you move closer, it stretches away, but the moment you let go, it snaps back toward you. It looks like love, but it's nothing more than the scream of fear, because love doesn't run, love doesn't play games. And now, place your hand on your heart and ask yourself, have you felt this cycle too? Have you ever tried to bring someone closer, only for them to pull away? And then the moment you grew tired and tried to let go, they suddenly came back. This game is not only theirs, the weight of it falls on your heart too. You start doubting your worth. You start wondering if maybe you're not enough. But the truth is, it was never your fault. It has always been the game of their fears, and understanding this is your first step forward. Because once you realize that this cycle does not define your worth but only reflects their inner fears, that's the moment you begin to set yourself free. The sudden reappearance. One of the most shocking moments in the avoidance cycle is the sudden reappearance, the moment they come back just when you've finally stopped, when you've grown tired of chasing, when you've sent the last unanswered text, when you've poured your heart out and only met silence, when you finally start redirecting your energy back into your own life. That's when, out of nowhere, they return. Sometimes it's a midnight text. I miss you. Sometimes it's an unexpected phone call, where for the first time they sound emotional. Other times it's a dramatic post on social media, crafted to grab your attention, to remind you they're still there. And in that moment your heart jolts. You think to yourself, finally, they've realized what I mean to them. This must be love. This must be change. But here's the truth. It isn't love. It isn't transformation. It's panic. Their nervous system has been triggered, screaming, they're leaving me, I'm about to lose them. And in that fear they reach back out. Yes, their return feels intense. Yes, it feels real in that moment, because their fear is real. But it's not growth. It's not consistency. It's just a reflex of survival. So let me ask you, have you experienced this too? That the very moment you pulled back, they suddenly rushed in, and yet after the initial spark, everything eventually slid back to the same old pattern, because that's the reality. Fear can pull someone toward you in the moment, but fear can never make them stay. Love bombing and false promises. After the sudden reappearance often comes the flood, the stage people mistake for real change. Out of nowhere, the person who once pulled away now overwhelms you with attention and affection. They text constantly. They call late at night. They tell you how much you mean to them, how they can't imagine life without you. And if you've been starving for connection, it feels intoxicating. Yesterday you couldn't get them to answer a message. Today they're pouring everything on you at once. It feels like a miracle. It feels like the love you've been waiting for. But here's the harsh truth, that intensity is not intimacy. That flood of affection is not transformation, it's survival. Their fear of abandonment has spiked so high that their nervous system believes the only way to pull you back is to overwhelm you with words, gestures and promises. Think of fireworks. They explode in the sky, dazzling, impossible to ignore, but within moments they fade. That's love bombing. Real intimacy, real growth, is more like a steady flame. It doesn't need to explode to prove itself. It burns quietly, consistently, even when no one's watching. And this is where you have to pause and ask, is this love or is this fear dressed as love? Here's how you tell the difference. Intensity versus consistency. Do they show up just once in a dramatic way, or do they keep showing up over time? Words versus action. Do their promises translate into follow-through, or just more promises? Panic versus growth. Are they reacting to the fear of losing you, or choosing to build something deeper even when fear isn't present? Because anyone can love bomb, anyone can panic, but only growth sustains. Confusion and mixed signals. Right after the love bombing phase comes one of the most dangerous traps. Confusion and mixed signals. One day they're warm, attentive, and affectionate, texting you constantly, making plans, pouring out charm. And then almost overnight, they go cold, distant, detached, as if your presence or absence doesn't matter at all. This warm, cold, warm cycle is what keeps you hooked the longest, and it's not random. Psychologists call it intermittent reinforcement. Think of a slot machine. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. But the unpredictability is what keeps you glued. You never know when the next reward will come, so you keep playing. That same principle is what keeps you emotionally invested in an avoidant cycle. But the impact, it's brutal. Your mind gets stuck in overdrive. You start doubting yourself, replaying old conversations, analyzing every silence, overthinking every pause. You begin to wonder, maybe I said something wrong, maybe I wasn't enough, maybe if I try harder, things will go back to the good phase. In reality, you're stuck in an emotional fog, confusion that steals your clarity and drains your peace. So here's how you cut through the fog. Ask yourself these 3 questions. Do their actions actually match their words, consistently, not just once? Do I feel safe and secure with them, or am I always on edge? Am I constantly chasing clarity, or does this relationship naturally bring me clarity? Because here's the truth. Real love brings clarity, not chaos. Real intimacy makes you feel grounded, not anxious. Mixed signals are not love. They're a symptom of fear. Control versus connection. The hidden battle beneath the push and pull, beneath the sudden reappearance and the love bombing, lies the deepest truth of the avoidance cycle. It's not about connection, it's about control. Avoidants crave closeness just like anyone else. Deep down they long to be seen, chosen, loved, but their wiring tells them that too much closeness is dangerous. So what do? They create distance. They decide when the door opens and when it slams shut. They decide how much love you get and when you get it. Think of it like a battlefield. On your side, you're waving the flag of connection, closeness, safety, consistency. On their side, they're waving the flag of control, distance, power, self-protection. And the more you push for connection, the harder they fight for control. That's why it feels like a war that never ends. But here's the heartbreaking truth in this war: you start to lose yourself. You think you're fighting for love, but you're actually trapped in a struggle for control. You end up negotiating your worth, sacrificing your peace, and chasing a closeness that never lasts. So pause and ask yourself, am I truly in a relationship, or am I stuck in a power struggle dressed up as love? Love and control cannot coexist. One is freedom, the other is fear. The power move, standing firm in growth, breaking free from the avoidant cycle, isn't about changing them, it's about strengthening you. The real power move is standing firm in your growth. Growth means you've started to see the pattern for what it is. You no longer confuse intensity for intimacy. You no longer mistake chaos for passion. Growth means you know your worth and you refuse to bargain it away for moments of attention. Standing firm looks like this. You hold your boundaries even when they test them. You stop apologizing for your needs, because your needs matter. You choose clarity over confusion, every single time. And here's the truth: the moment you stop playing the game collapses. Their panic, their sudden gestures, their emotional pull, it only works if you fall for it. But when you stand tall in your growth, when you refuse to let fear dictate your choices, the spell breaks. Ask yourself right now, am I going to keep chasing scraps of affection, or am I ready to claim the steady love I deserve? Fear can bring them back, but only love can make them stay. And real love starts with you choosing yourself first. So let's wrap this up. You've now seen the avoidance cycle for what it truly is: distancing, sudden reappearance, love bombing and false promises, confusion and mixed signals, and finally the battle for control. And you've also seen the only real way out: standing firm in your growth, choosing clarity, and refusing to hand your worth over to fear. Because here's the truth: fear can pull someone toward you for a moment, but it can never make them stay. Only love can do that. And love is not chaos, not confusion, not mixed signals. Real love is steady, consistent, and it affirms your value every single day. If this video resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear this. Sometimes the greatest gift we can give is a new perspective, and maybe this perspective will save them from repeating the same cycle again. And finally, make sure you subscribe, so you don't miss the videos that will strengthen your clarity and your growth even more. Remember, clarity, consistency, connection. That's the kind of love you truly deserve.